I'm so happy to introduce the very funny David Gborie.
Hey.
David, thank you for being here, man.
Thanks for having me.
We've known each other for a long time.
Yeah. I mean, probably since
damn near kind of came up together, but
yeah,
like
weirdly parallel.
Correct. And Sam Talent was our
perpendicular. I don't know the rules.
I think it'd be parallel because you were in
Over
San
there.
Francisco.
But I was also coming into Denver.
True, because you're from Elizabeth, Colorado originally.
Yeah.
Went to school with Sam Talent, who is another one of our favorites.
Yeah, high school.
To high school, excuse me.
Yeah.
In Elizabeth.
I moved to Elizabeth in high school, yeah.
Okay. What was it? Was that where you settled? Was that like the first place that you guys lived in America? Or
No.
did you... Where were you living first?
I'm from Washington State.
I thought you were from Sierra...
See, I'm from Sierra Leone, but I was born here.
Oh!
I'm first generation.
I'm sorry. I thought your mom brought you over.
I was in her belly when she came over.
Copy. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, see, you learn something new every day.
See, Brent thought I had the accent of someone who moved here when I was 17.
No, I thought...
Yo. That's amazing.
You really were able to drop that accent so well. What is your trick? We should teach a master class on that. How did you do it? Rap, dude. I'm telling you.
Because I sound like a rapper.
So you started in Washington State.
Yeah.
That's where you're born, and then y'all kind of bounced around for a few stops.
Yeah, I lived all over Western Washington State.
Okay.
Yeah, I went to like 11 schools or something.
Whoa, wow. Okay,
yeah,
cool.
Yeah.
Then you got to Elizabeth. You graduated.
Got to Aurora, then got to Elizabeth.
Oh, okay, got you.
Yeah.
Which one did you like more?
Or,
You didn't like the hillbillies of Elizabeth?
No. What are you talking about? What are you?
Come on, I figured you liked the country and everything.
I was like 13 and moved to a small town with only white people.
Thought you would have loved it.
It was very difficult.
So you graduated in what year? 2006?
2005.
2005. And then what took you to San Francisco?
I got a DUI.
Oh, okay.
I got it. Yeah, man.
Okay. There's a pretty good transportation system in San Francisco. You know.
I just I had to get out of where I was living. I was working like 30 miles from home. I was living with juggalos. There was just a lot going on.
Whoa.
Yeah. So I got a DUI, and I was like, I can't make it to work. My house was just fucked up, and I was like, let me go see what my folks are doing, because I left home early. I ran away from home, but then we were good by then, so I went back.
Yeah. And
they lived in Brisbane, which is next to Daly City, so 2 miles from San Francisco.
Okay, gotcha.
And I went there.
Where's your mom living now?
Norway.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Wow, she just likes to be everywhere.
She likes to party.
That's pretty cool. Well, like mother, like son.
Hey, man.
So you got
It's our curse. Help me. Help me.
Comedy's gonna fucking kill us.
No.
What? So what did you then? Okay, so you get a DUI. How old are you? 17? 18?
No. I mean, when I got the DUI, I started comedy when I was 23. So I got the DUI when I was 22, 21.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so you had already graduated from high school at this point.
Yeah, I had a life. I was working and had a car.
For some reason, I thought you started in your teens.
No.
Okay.
Sam did.
Okay.
Sam started doing
improv and all that shit.
Because me and Sam are 3 days apart.
Okay.
Yeah, so he started that shit when we were 18.
Gotcha. Okay. Okay, so all right. That's probably why I thought it. So you go to San Francisco. You just want to change of pace.
Yeah, I mean, I had nowhere else to go. I had nowhere to go, and then I had to be can I crash in your garage for a while? And my parents were like, yeah. And then I got there, and my stepdad was like, I need another kid living in this house I need a hole in the head. You have to move out. But
nice.
I had already paid off my DUI. So I had just started doing stand up, so I went to San Francisco.
Okay, so what made you start doing stand up? Like did you watch stand up as a kid?
No.
Okay.
Not at all.
What were you
I thought
doing?
it was for grown-ups.
Okay.
It was just like, I mean, I saw like in high school I saw the original Kings of Comedy.
Yeah.
And I always liked that, but I just didn't watch that much stand up. I watched I watched the Dane Cook when
Everyone
that was
watched
going
those.
on, and then I was like, oh, this sucks.
Like the
So I went back to
half-hour specials?
I
his
watched
hour
the
specials?
special.
Okay.
Like Vicious Circle, I think.
Yeah.
And like it was funny for like, at the time, it was funny for like 10, 20 minutes, and then I was like, this sucks. And then I kind of just like didn't think about stand-up really. It was never like my favorite art form. I didn't start getting into it and liking comics and shit until after I started.
Okay.
Like I didn't have a favorite comedian.
So why did you
growing up.
start? Like what even got you thinking I want to try this?
Well, Sam Talent was doing it, and we were always tight from being in school and shit. And he told me I should do it, and I remember me and my stepdad went to an open mic that he was at one time with Jordan Zuckerman, is what I remember.
Okay.
And like I watched the whole open mic, and I was like,
Was I at that open mic?
Dude, this is 12 years ago. I don't
Okay.
know. But I was like, this is not it.
That was your first live comedy show that you'd been to.
My whole life.
Wow. You're like, I don't want to do anything.
I was just like, this is like whack, dude. But then later, I went to Sam and Rogers' Night of Hilarious Fun.
Yep.
When they did it in 5 Points.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, oh, this is cool, man. So I was like, this is cool. Sam's doing this. And he was like, you should try it. And I was like, that was just not what I was into. Because I'm not like a theater guy or any stuff like that growing up. And he was like, you should try it. And I was like, nah. But I was really kind of fucking up a lot just in my life and like who I was surrounding myself with.
Right.
So it was like my life was pretty bad.
So you went from shitty people to like less shitty people.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's why I went so hard, because it was still better than what I had been doing.
That makes sense.
You know what I mean?
Yep, that makes sense.
It was like, this is still a net win.
From where I was at.
Yeah, dude.
This is definitely 3 steps forward.
I have far less friends with nicknames. You know what I mean?
Oh, what was the most memorable nickname that you can remember from back then? Like one of your friends. Like I feel like a T-bone would be in there.
Catch lungs.
Catch lungs?
Because the weedy smell sold would catch your lungs.
Okay. Okay.
Get your lungs caught up. I guess.
Yeah.
That was pretty dumb.
Catch lungs is pretty bad. Yo, what up, Catch lungs? It's such a long name. I feel like it should roll off your tongue better.
It was really long.
Oh, that's great. All right, so you see Sam and Rogers thing, which is
it was cool.
Which that makes sense why you like that, because knowing where you're going to,
right?
That to me makes sense that you would have liked that. An alternative show where it's like we're doing something fun. It's not really a traditional stand-up like Dane Cook's.
It wasn't even that it was alternative. It's that it was mad local. I always liked local shit because I moved around so much growing up that like just like the idea of doing some local shit and something being like community based is really appealing to me. Okay. So I just always thought local shit was dope. And then, like, you know, just, like, a small community. It just seemed, like, cool. And, like, you know, Sam is very supportive. I learned much more supportive than the majority of the Denver comedy scene was. Yeah. So I thought that was dope. Like, and I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. I could see myself. But I still wasn't on some, like, oh, I could try to do this. Yeah. And then he just, like, Sam put the bug in my ear. And then I was just, like, I moved to California, and I got a job at a casino. Cool. And I was working, like, a bunch to pay off my... I paid off my... Oh, boy. I think it's done. I don't think there's any more in there for you, pal.
Oh, man, It's right on camera too.
Yo, they saw it.
Oh, God.
They saw the whole shit.
Sorry. You want any water?
Yes, of course. Oh, man. What an interview. He's just breaking the middle. I keep thinking about this Dice Clay joke. I don't know what it was, because I don't even like his comedy. Or he's fine. But he had this joke that I was listening to the other day, and he's like, so my girlfriend was like, why do I always have to suck your dick? And he was like, because I can't.
Oh!
That's like,
Oh, God.
it's so funny, dude. Because I can't. Because then it's like, oh, where'd you just be sucking your dick all day, Dice? Like, give me the opportunity. That's what you're mad at.
Oh, God.
Or that's just one angle. There's a lot. It's funny on a lot of angles.
All right. Little continuity error. Move this, add this.
You're only a real one if you don't edit out that blunt falling. You gotta like.
Oh, that's.
I'm gonna make fun of you.
It's for sure going to be in there.
It's gotta.
It's gotta be. Yeah. No, it's for sure gonna be in there. This might not, but that will be in there.
Okay.
So, Sam and Roger's night of hilarious fun. You see that in Denver, and you're already living in San Francisco, and then.
No, I was in Denver when I saw it.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
So where was your first open mic, or your first show, however form it was in? Because mine was at High School Talent Show.
I did. Sam had me be on an improv show where he interviewed me once.
Okay.
At like the Bovine or some shit.
That sounds right. Yeah.
And it went really well.
I bet.
And then he was like, dude, you really got to do this. And that's kind of when I started thinking about doing it. And then I still didn't know. I don't ever write anything. I've never been any type of a writer.
Yeah.
So like I didn't even know what to do.
Right.
And I didn't watch a lot of stand-up. And you would think maybe if I was a smarter man, I'd be like, let me go watch a bunch of stand-up. But I didn't. I did not do that.
That's fair. I don't hate you for that.
Just thought some shit.
You know, to be honest, like that. I think that's maybe what's led to your style of comedy as it is now. Is that kind of like it is kind of a conversational kind of it almost feels like a riff, not like how Sam is truly riffing, but
yeah,
it seems like you're willing to take or drop anything at any time.
Yeah,
like you're not married to any set list.
Yeah, that's how I try to this just sounds so whack. I think of the whole act as just like it's like a live. It's like a thing, right?
Right.
So you just like you put stuff over here to make it better, and you pull stuff out of here, and then you got like any different. Listen, man, you walk if you know your neighborhood. You can walk to the grocery store. There's a million ways to get home. Right. That's kind of how mine is.
Gotcha. So you know where you're going to start. You're starting at home, and then you're going to finish at the grocery store.
Yeah.
And you know that this is the path you take, or that the route you take is what's funny.
Yeah, exactly. But your route is different. Maybe you were going to the grocery store and you saw your friend Jeff, and Jeff was like, "Let's go to the bar and have a drink."
Sure.
But then
you can move in and out, but you're still at the end of this. Okay.
Yeah. Or like Kyrie Irving.
Yeah.
You know how he plays basketball?
No.
He taught him.
I don't think any of our fans watching probably know this much about Kyrie Irving.
Oh, okay.
Maybe 2% of our fans.
Kobe,
we want to know though.
Also, Kobayashi does a similar thing.
Okay.
But Kyrie Irving does this thing where like he taught himself like 100 different moves, like 100 or something like that.
Okay.
And he got them all down like to like muscle memory, like this move, like got them all down perfect. And then that's why he can do stuff that anybody can do, because he just hits those moves at the speed of thought. So it's 100 different things that he can put in any combination.
That
Because
depending on the
muscle-
situation, he can jump into that real
Because
quick.
it's muscle memory
Yeah,
now,
that makes sense.
so he's like moving at like the speed of thought.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And
Okay.
that's kind of how I do it.
So,
Or I just get drunk and I forget what I'm talking about.
that's. I'd say that's.
And then I
about-
gotta come
that's
back.
probably at least a third of the.
Yeah, I
of
mean
the
that
shows
sounded
out
so
there.
nice, but like let's call a spade a spade.
Did you do improv stuff more at the beginning than you did later, or like when did you do your first stand-up show?
2010,
Okay.
like August of 2010.
And how much longer? Like how much time between the Bovine show with Sam Talent to this stand-up to August 2010?
Maybe 2 years.
Really?
It
And
was-
in that time, you didn't think about it really, or you didn't go watch stand-up comedy elsewhere? You
It
didn't.
popped into my head every now and again. I had a life, you know.
What were you doing?
I was working and paying bills and trying to get laid and watching the Nuggets and the Broncos. Just like a normal dude.
Yeah.
Like, it was pretty hectic when I was younger, but then like, cause like I left home early, so I was just like kind of bouncing around, going nuts for a few years.
Yeah. Where was your first stand-up show? What state? Colorado or San Fran?
California, San Francisco.
Really?
I went to the place that I did my first open mic and I didn't get up, but I watched the whole show, and then I got kind of shook, and then I waited like 2 or 3 weeks and then came back and did a set.
What prompted you to go that first night, even though you didn't go up?
Sam, he was like,
He just kept telling you to do it.
When I came to California, he was like, man, you're like in a great place to do it. You should really like try it. And if it goes bad, you could just go home but you'll never see anybody there again.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it was like, I was like already like,
Kind of ready for a change.
yeah, I moved to California. I was like, let's like switch shit up. You know what I mean?
What were you
But-
doing for work?
At the time,
Uh-huh.
I was working at a casino.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I worked at a casino until I went full time with stand up.
Did you do casinos for a long time? What were you doing?
Just like a year and a half.
What were you doing before that?
Before casino, I worked at a call center for about a year and a half.
Okay.
And
Well,
then
I bet they loved you.
Yeah.
They were getting $1 million voice, and they had no idea.
How grossly underpaid I was. I think about it at night sometimes, dude. That's what it's worth. Giving that shit away.
Yeah.
$13 an hour. You
Oh,
fucking
man.
ding dong.
Dude, what were you doing at a casino? Were you a dealer?
No, this is really weird and it's so boring.
Can you nutshell it?
Yeah, I was a third-party banker.
Okay.
Because you can't do. There's no house in California card rooms.
Got you.
It has to be peer-to-peer gambling.
Got you.
So it's a rotating bank. That means
Gotcha.
everybody gets a chance to be the house. But because of that, a lot of times, let's say me, you, and a third person are playing. Me and you are betting $50 hands. It's this person's turn to bank, and they only put up $25, $50 in the hand. That means somebody's going to get cut short. But it doesn't matter because they're banking, so it's their turn to bank, so we just have to let them do that. And that kind of thing started happening, and it was causing rifts on the table. So what my company came in and was basically like, we'll bank every single hand, and we'll back each hand up to $50,000.
Wow.
So it's kind of like making a loophole.
Sure. To make a bunch of money off
You're
of
the
it, and then
yeah. So you're the bank. You're the house.
It's a bunch of bad gamblers that were like, you know what? I'm tired of losing my money. I'm just gonna go fuck everybody else over and take a portion of the money.
It helps them out because
Sure.
they back the hand.
Of course.
So if they win, so like it's in the casino's benefit for them to play there too.
Right.
But what it does is because of that, it gives the casino and the dealers, who are usually the enemy, it gives them a mutual enemy. Everybody hates on me because the dealer wants the players to win.
Of course.
Because they're still playing.
Of course.
They're still paying. They're paying for tips.
Yeah. That's why dealers, when I'm playing blackjack and it's very obvious that I don't really know what I know what I'm doing, but like the etiquette of when to take a hit or not.
Which they can be so hard on that.
Yeah. Oh, the fucking table.
Gamblers
There's
are
so much
so-
pressure on the tail end. Like just
Gamblers are so hard on that shit.
dude. And so I always want to have someone with me, or a good dealer, a nice one at least, will be like, you're probably good.
Yeah.
Like,
Well,
all right,
like,
cool.
That's one thing I'm good on a blackjack table. We had to memorize the hit chart.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So
I bet you're really good on a blackjack table.
Yeah. I mean, I just play it exactly the way you're supposed to play it.
And how do you do?
I win. I just gotta I've had to learn how to do it. It's like still gambling, so you're not playing for 3 hours or whatever. But I can go in like 10, 15 minutes and I'll make like $350. And then...
Is long-term gambling ever good? Like
no,
3 hours? I don't know.
Not.
No, not like years, but like 3 hours like at a table.
The house always wins.
See, that's where. Damn it! I wish I would have known that.
How do you not know
I knew
that?
the house always
Have you
wins,
ever
but
been
I
to
just
Vegas?
thought that was an express. I mean, I knew that, but
they give idiots free lobster. That's how much money they're making. Are you kidding me, bro?
No, but I never understood why gambling for a long amount of time at a table is ultimately bad in your favor.
Because the odds are in the house's favor.
But why are you crushing so hard at the beginning? Why can't you
I'm
crush
not always
as hard at the
crushing
end?
so hard. I just don't. I just go back. I just go in big fast.
Gotcha.
So like I'll win 10 and then I'll bet 20, and then if I win that I'll bet 40, and then I'll lose and then pay like 2 more hands betting 40, and then if I lose that I'm out. But then you know what I mean?
Sure.
I just bet really aggressive, really short, because like. That shit's like, what else are you going to do?
Have you seen that work more times?
Yeah, dude,
yeah.
The longer you play, the more you're going to think you're doing something right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
To think that you're going to start to feel like that shit. I've seen it with gamblers so many times. That shit just gets in your head. I'm on a hot streak. It becomes mad.
That's exactly what it is.
It becomes mad personal, and you think you're doing something. But, like, you're not. You're not. You're not doing anything. You're never doing anything. Unless you're straight up cheating and you're gambling, you're never doing anything.
Oh, man.
The mental gymnastics. That job was a bummer, dude. You'd see. I remember one time we had a lady there who played so long, she bled on the chair.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
They'd have the security guards would have to go and shine their lights in cars at night because there would be kids sleeping in cars. A lot of people were straight up homeless. They just kind of went from casino to casino.
This is in California?
This is San Francisco.
Near San Francisco?
Right across the highway from SFO when you land.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. That got depressing real fast.
It was like a crazy...
It went interesting. That is a crazy job. So you just worked for the bank portion of it?
Yeah, so I basically just played.
Okay. Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. That's awesome. I want to know this hit chart. That sounds great.
Yeah.
It sounds very helpful in this game.
Blackjack, baccarat, 3-card poker, double hand poker. You ever played Pai Gow poker?
No.
Complicated.
It sounds like it.
Complicated. That was the hard part about that job. I couldn't when I was doing it, I couldn't be writing jokes in my head or nothing.
Because you had to be like, wait,
Yeah, because your boss would come up sometimes and be like, how much action is on the table right now?
Damn. How did you get linked in with that job? Sorry, we'll get off of this in a second. How'd you get linked in with that?
Craigslist.
Really?
Yeah, and then they interviewed me, and I was like, I don't know. I think I didn't want the job, kind of. Because I didn't lie or anything. I was like, I don't really know anything about gambling. I've never... And they're like, oh, that's perfect. That's what we want. And I was so naive that I just told them that. Because everybody there was a degenerate gambler. Everybody. The chip runners, the dealers, the pit bosses, everybody on my staff, everybody was a gambler. That it was like... the craziest
Were
shit.
they making good money gambling because they're so good
Fuck
at it?
Yeah.
I bet.
And people just it was just, that's those type of people. They all went to Vegas and shit together. It was a wild world. It was also like 90% Asian.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, San Francisco. Yeah, I mean, that makes sense.
It's like all Chinese people and a lot of other people, Vietnamese. There were hella Cambodian people.
Interesting.
There were a lot of Filipinos. Yeah, everybody spoke Chinese. It was really wild.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it was really, really wild.
Interesting.
They'd always call me if you were winning, they'd call you Hak Chai, which means bad luck. And they'd like yell at you. They'd be like, "Fuck you," because it's like they're losing to me. So I'd just be sitting there. They'd be like, "Fuck you, man." Or like they'd be mad racist. Like it'd be like these China guys like, "Obama, you live in Oakland, Obama?" They thought, yeah, it was wild, dude.
Oh,
There would be, if you worked at nighttime, there's prostitutes in there.
Wow.
Yeah. And then they got raided by the FBI, and I quit.
Whoa.
Yeah, you could look it up.
That's pretty fucking cool. What's the name of the casino?
Artichoke Joe's.
Okay.
Yeah.
There you go. Google Artichoke Joe's
AJ's.
Casino. Wow. Okay. So
I'm sorry. I'm real high.
No,
I
I
feel
love.
so talkative.
I love that fucking story. That's wild. So you bitched out on your first one. Was it just an open mic?
I didn't. I signed up very, very last.
Okay.
This was back in the day where they give 5 minutes at open mics.
Oh.
In San Francisco.
Wow. And like, who were you starting with?
Me, Andrew Holmgren.
Yep.
Claire O'Kane was there.
Cool.
Amy Miller.
Sweet. It's a pretty good lineup.
Started when we started. That was kind of the main ones who started right around the same time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. And so then how did it go when you first did it? Like what was the show? Like what was the was it like a true open mic?
It was the
at a bar.
Brainwash.
Okay.
And I was so fucking scared. Shit.
How old? You're 23 years old.
23 years old. Never done anything even kind of.
I can see your legs shaking. You're like getting PTSD thinking about it.
It was like so scary for me. And you're just in the city and like I was always like it was just very different than any people I'd ever been involved with. It was just and I thought it was like they were pretty funny. So it was like you're just like, fuck, this is crazy. These people are going for it. I felt like such a rookie. And I was.
And how did you do your first time?
Killed it.
Did you?
Killed that shit.
Yeah.
I don't think I would have come back if I hadn't.
Yes.
To be honest. Yeah.
Dude, I've found with doing these thus far, there is definitely a I feel like about 80% of the comics so far that have been in it for a long time crushed their first time.
I think it happens
or at
more
least
than
had a
people
good
say.
or had a good experience.
Yeah.
So far the only person that has said that he ate shit is Caleb Sinan.
Really?
Yeah, and he's like, bro, I had friends there and everything, and no one laughed.
Oh shit!
Yeah, it's fucking ate. He said he ate shit so fucking hard.
He told people.
No. Somehow. Oh man, I can't remember now. I can't remember if he told people.
I gotta watch it.
I can't remember if he told people or if like the word got out and friends came or something.
That sounds
knowing
terrible.
Caleb, I feel like he told people and like no one laughed. And he goes, "There's still people now that just haven't come back to see the comedy." Yeah, it's fucking. Yeah.
That sounds horrible.
But most other ones have done well their first time.
Really?
Because I think that's what it is. It's like what Jackie Cation said. It's a heroin immediately.
Yeah.
It feels so good that it is. It's just.
It's also like you came there because you're funny.
Right.
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 So I don't know. You just the same thing that powers your engine is gonna power your engine the whole time. You could get better at writing jokes,
right,
and shit like that. But the shit that makes you funny, you had that shit the first time you did it.
Yeah.
So like, if you're able to like convert it, then you're probably gonna do good.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep. I'm glad that you did well. I'm so glad you did well. I would have been baffled if I had another one because I'm waiting for someone to say another one to go bad.
I'm sure somebody else did.
So,
they had. I did well. I did real well.
What were you talking about? Everyone's first topics were shitty.
I just like. It's just very different than me now. My first joke was like, I'm super nervous. I'm like, lose your virginity nervous.
Okay.
And then I think I said like.
So you were commenting on what was literally happening.
Yeah, and I think I said, don't be upset if I spill all my good jokes on your stomach, or something.
That's a good one.
Something like that.
That's a pretty good joke.
There's a lot of cum shit in the beginning.
Well, I mean, like you said, that was your previous life. You were just trying to get laid and pay some bills.
I wasn't getting laid that much. I was trying. Yeah, I had to that was.
Well, thank God you have evolved because you have.
Now I also do fart jokes.
Yeah,
so,
yeah. It's come a long way.
You know,
so
one of these days we'll get up top. I'll do tit jokes.
Oh man! And then what? 30 years from now, you'll start doing relationship humor.
Yeah, but
there
then mushroom cloud will all be dead.
Yeah, it's true. All this hydrofracking is gonna catch up with us
one day.
So how long did it take you? So then you got bit by the bug immediately, and did you just jump right in, or did it take a little bit to get back into it?
No, it was pretty immediately. It was like when I did it, I remember being like, oh man, that's what I was looking for. Does that make? Which is so.
Yep.
Sounds so corny, but like, yeah. Like I remember when I graduated high school, my mom wrote me a card and she was like, "I hope you find whatever it is you're looking for." Which I was like, "You doofy ding dong, what are you talking about?" And then like I did it, and I was
so
like,
much wiser.
I must have been looking for something because as soon as I did it, I was like, "Oh well, this must be the point." You know what I mean?
This must be it.
Yeah, this must be. I guess chasing that, like, it felt. I don't know. It just felt like, as soon as I did it, I was like, I'm just gonna try to be the best I can at this.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah. Now, how was this? So, I mean, you started with a great class.
Good people.
Amy, Claire, Andrew, all those guys, fantastic. And there's a great club up there, Punchline.
Yeah. I was not a part of it.
No, you weren't. But there was. It's weird because it doesn't seem. It seems like San Francisco didn't embrace the club, or the club didn't embrace the alt scene and the young comics like Comedy Works did it in Denver, which is of course what I'm used to. Would you say that's the case, or did I just like, or were there two different scenes? There was the club scene and the alt scene.
I think there were the two different scenes. I think that's a result of just like, I think that club was doing, in hindsight now, I think that club was just doing so well they didn't really need
new comic or like young comics.
Yeah. So they just kind of like, because I remember the reason I wasn't fucking with it is like, nobody got passed for like the first 2 years I was doing it.
Wow.
Or something. And I was like, man, this cannot be, if that's, I'm never gonna get to the front of the line.
Yeah.
If I do that. So I think they didn't embrace it. And I think that because they didn't, there was just this generation of people who was like, well, we'll go figure it out, I guess.
Yeah.
Because I was always close to Sam, but I didn't even know Sam did club shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I had only been to like his night, so
right.
I didn't even know. So I thought that was just like what you're supposed to do.
So where did it go from there then? You're doing open mics, and then how quickly did you progress? Were you traveling, or were you going to LA? Like what were you?
No,
you were just living like you were living hard in San Francisco.
Yeah. Like,
because that's where I feel like we met or spent the most time first was in San Francisco.
Yeah.
And so like by that point you were pretty well established in the scene.
Yeah, I got kind of like, I got known in the scene kind of quick. I had a lot of cool first breaks. Like I got Bridgetown after I'd been doing comedy for like 14, 15 months.
Wow, cool.
So that really like.
Yeah. That's a big one.
Especially
big festival in Portland.
Yeah, especially back then too. That
was the fest.
Yeah, it was like so. It was like you can kind of, and I think I maybe got too arrogant, but I'd be like, because the club shit. I was just thinking about it. I was like, okay, so they got people featuring or whatever hosting at the club, But those people aren't even able to get this thing that I got out here by myself.
Yeah.
So then if I could just keep doing that, then I don't really need to be fucking with this over here.
Right.
And then I was like, and then I had a group of friends who were with the same thing. So then it was like, why not? We'll just do our own thing. And like I said, I like local neighborhood and shit anyways. So like, we were just doing it for the Richmond.
Right.
Like, just so we could be cool, like, in our neighborhood.
Right.
You know what I mean? And, like, drink for free at our bar.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, have our own shit.
So when did you start traveling? Or, like, what was your next big step then?
After Bridgetown?
Yeah.
I started traveling back and forth to Colorado because I was on probation.
Okay.
And I had probation complications.
Gotcha.
So I was going back. I don't even... I'm so fucking dumb. I'm like a...
This is for your DUI, right?
Yeah. I'm like a dumb guy. But also, if you're on out-of-state probation, RMOMS, Rocky Mountain Offender Management Services, they really did fuck me. But anyways, I was going back and forth for court shit and whatever, and so every time I was back in Denver, and that's where all my people are, you know? I have friends there and shit like that. But every time I was in Denver, I would fucking do stand-up.
Gotcha.
And I was just going back and forth all the time. So I started doing that, and then I think the summer after I did Bridgetown, so I'd already been doing road shit. Like, and that's when I was meeting you guys. But I was so lucky because I didn't come up in Denver, which you guys are hard on people. Yeah. I just came in, and Sam didn't do me any favors. The only show he booked me on was he let me do 10 at the Lions Lair.
which is more than double anyone, triple anybody else.
Yeah. But like he wasn't like he was like, I can't like hold your hand.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Here's a very hard open mic. Go have fun.
Yeah. He was like, I can give you 10 at my open mic.
So then,
which I think he was worried I was gonna blow it too. He was like stoked that I wasn't bad.
I knew it. I told you you'd be good.
Not even. He was just like, hell yeah. I thought you were gonna suck. I was like, all right, man.
That Sam T encouragement.
Classic. But also, that's how I feel about it too. Now I'm like, yeah,
right.
Fucking figure it out.
Right. There's no other way. Like, people ask, how do you you fucking you just got to do it. You got to go eat shit and learn how to not eat shit.
And I tell you what to do. If you're not doing exactly what I was doing when I was doing it, then how's it going to work the same for you?
Right.
Other than get on stage all the time, I fucking know. I still don't know how it works. I fucking know,
man. So when did you then start, like what was the next big thing? You did Bridgetown after 14 months, but you were still living in San Francisco for a while.
Yeah.
After that. So what was the next move?
Well, we got we got raided by the FBI.
The
casino got raided by the FBI, and I had just done Bridgetown, and I was like, and I'm dumb, so I was like, dude, I'll probably be professional really soon. Like, I'll just like stop working. I was looking for a way to get out of my job, and then the fucking FBI shut us down, and we got shut down for 15 days, and I was like, I asked if I could get unemployment, and they were like, no. They offered me employment at this other place.
Oh, lame.
This out in past Oak in like Pinole, if you're familiar with the fucking Bay Area, forever away. And I didn't have a car because I'd had a DUI. It's like past where you can go and park. I was like, fuck this, man. I don't even want this job. And then I remembered that I had been working a bunch of overtime. I'd been working a bunch of overtime to pay off my DUI. And sometimes when I worked overtime, they would not pay me for overtime.
Oh.
Like I'd work 7 days in a row, but they'd pay me. They'd be like, oh, but we forgot.
It's like your normal hourly rate for all 7.
Yeah, because we messed it up this time. And they did that like 2 or 3 times. I fucking had that shit in emails. So I just quit and told the unemployment office what was up.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, 99 weeks. Thanks, Obama. And I was like, all right, well, let's go out and try to figure out how to do this.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Nice. And then
it took more than 99 weeks.
Oh, I can imagine. when we were hanging out, you were sleeping in a chair.
Yeah.
That was your main bed was in a chair.
Yeah, it took a little more than 99 weeks. That's the other thing. If people like ask me, I'm like, I don't know, man. I almost killed myself to do this. If you want to do that, I can tell you to do that. Otherwise, I don't know, keep your fucking job. Like, you know what I mean? Just like be a person.
What prompted you to move to Atlanta or to Los Angeles?
It's just time.
How long were you in San Francisco?
I had been repped for about a year. I was in San Francisco for 5 years.
Okay. And you were just doing your thing there.
I had been repped. Like I said, I had been repped for about a year. I had a manager and an agent. And I was just coming down to LA a lot, showcasing.
Yeah.
And then I had kind of just connecting with the industry side, sort of. You're like, okay, if I'm going to make a run at this, I have to make somewhat of a choice.
Right. Right.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like you
got to commit to it.
And you know
if you want to do it to the top level.
And you know that when your run is up at home,
right.
It was like in San Francisco, it started to be like I was doing shows at places that had run shows, shut down, and then started up again. You know what I mean? When you've redone a room and shit like that. And it was too good. I had it too good.
Yeah.
I was doing 15, maybe 20 shows a week without really trying.
Yeah.
And not making enough money, but I'm a dirtbag. So making enough money to live pretty cool for me. I had the town clicking where I was like going.
You were the dude.
Yeah.
That's
I knew
for
how
sure.
to get money. And
yeah.
I could drink for free and like. It was just too good. And I was like, okay, I could do this forever and be a really sad 35-year-old, you know? Or I could just go and make a move.
Right.
Plus to move again.
Nice. So did anything prompt you, like did you have any work out here or because there's less money here than there is, you know,
I didn't know that.
You thought, okay.
I don't know what I thought. But then I came down here and had maybe the hardest year of my adult life.
I could see that. Yeah, it's fucking expensive here. Were you trying to travel too?
That was the only way I had money.
Yeah. That's the problem too, is it takes half your check to travel.
Yeah, and then I would go out of town and make some money and then come home and like bounce around.
Yeah.
All kinds of places.
So what would you say was your first like big thing where in your mind you're like, holy shit, I did it, or I'm doing it? Bridgetown, probably.
Bridgetown was the first thing.
Yeah.
I think then just
like what was the sign in LA that was like, okay, this is all right. I'm gonna be okay.
I got a little writing gig, and you know what it was? I got Comedy Central comics to watch.
Okay.
And then
I remember that.
I was gonna move to Denver after that, though.
Okay.
I was like pretty.
Denver was pretty hot right then.
Denver was pretty hot. I had nothing cooking in LA. I didn't have a place to live. I was just bouncing around. If you know one of our friends, I slept on their couch for a while.
Yeah.
And I just was like not. I had like I was like it would be so much better for me in Denver. Everybody I knew there was crushing. So when I was there, it was like.
It felt good. It felt like
elevating
home.
myself. I felt like I was getting better there. So many of you guys were working the road. I had a buddy who owned a company who was like, you could have a job with me. Yeah. So I was just like, and I was just beat down. I was tired, you know? Yep. Living like hard. Yeah. Hard.
Yeah. I saw it.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's exactly what I don't want to do.
Yeah, I had 2 pairs of socks.
I mean, same goal, but different approach. Which it did pay off. You know, that's the bonus.
But that's just
it did pay off.
And that's just how I am.
Right. Right.
I know me is like, if I didn't bleed for it, I probably won't want it.
Right.
You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But
so you get comics to watch. That's pretty big. And then because I was
still gonna move to Denver. Because then I was like,
what kept you then?
My mom told me
to stay in LA.
Yeah, because I called her and I was like, I just can't do it. I just don't. Kind of just at the end of my shit. Yeah. I was seeing a girl in Denver. It was just like, I was just like, I can't. What am I doing? I started to feel like I was being dumb. Gotcha. Like dumber than before. You know what I mean? Like it was started to be like, okay, well, what do you want your life to look like?
You know, it's going bad when you think juggalos are a better option than fucking.
well, just like, but not just juggalos.
Yeah, no,
That's
I know.
like how good you guys were, though.
Yeah.
And I liked you all so much, like.
Yeah.
Damn, more than
it
I
was
liked
a
the
great
people.
time to be in Denver.
It was that magical period.
Frolics were big. Fine Gentlemen were big.
Everybody had
it was such
great
a fun time.
shows.
Yeah.
There was money to be made. Everybody was pushing each other to get better. It just really, to me, felt like where I needed to be. And then like, but that was because I had given up on LA. And I was like talking to my mom, and she was in Norway, but she was like, you gotta go back. You gotta, it's like, and also everybody told me the first year was the hardest, and that was like right around a year.
Yeah.
And my mom was like, you kind of gotta try it for a year at least, and you gotta go back. And I was like, I don't know I don't have any plan. I think I got the travel buyout, so I had $700 cash, and my mom was like, because she didn't have no money, but she was like, I'll get you a motel for a couple nights, and just see. Get on the plane, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I went back and I got a motel, and I was sitting in there, and I was like, I don't know what the fuck I'm gonna do. I don't know what to do. Johan Miranda had just gotten an apartment, because me and him were homeless together for a while, so it was just like me and him going to open mics for 6 hours and then finding somewhere to sleep.
Yeah.
At one point we were like, Dave Clay let me sleep in his room.
Yeah.
And I brought Johan too, because Johan also, we're just like, you know, when you're like down and out together, you just look up to each other.
Yeah.
And we had wild.
Your homeless roommates.
Yeah. So it would be like, you sleep on the bed tonight, I'll sleep on the floor, and we split like one of those $5.55 pizzas from
the grocery
7-Eleven,
stores. Yeah.
like every day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
So it was like, but then I came back and I was in the motel because Johan had picked me up at the airport, and he was there with me, and he had just got an apartment, and I was just like, yeah, man, you're gonna be all right. I should fucking go make sure I'm gonna be all right. And then Solomon Giorgio called me and said they had a room opening up.
Oh wow.
$500 a month, and I was like, I know I can make $500 a month.
Wow.
And I moved in.
What a smoking deal. And you were in that place for a long time.
2.5 years.
Okay. I thought it was longer than that, but
No,
yeah.
no. Like 3.
That was in Highland Park.
Yeah, a little over 3. That's where I've been most of the time I've been in LA.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So about 3 years I stayed there.
So your mom kept you in it.
Yeah.
Boy,
yeah.
that's a great
By
story.
the way, though, I don't think that going to Denver would have at all ruined my career.
I don't think so either.
I was still repped.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I just think you would have moved there just to move back.
Yeah. Well, that's what happened,
happened,
right? So I got the Solomon spot, and then like a week or two later, I got my first writing job.
And what were you writing for?
Fusion,
okay.
The website or whatever. Yeah. But I think it paid like $1,500 a week, which I was like, yo, I'm going to be rich. Are you kidding me? Holy shit. I was freaking out. Yeah, I was fucking freaking out. But I got that gig. It was like, I think it was 8 weeks. It was only an 8-week gig. But yeah, I got paid that dough. And that gig was hard because I was like, it was 2 hours on public transportation. From Solomon's house to there and then back.
Yowza.
But I was like...
Boy, I'm sure after a couple weeks, you're like, I'm going to get an Uber.
I started getting lifts home.
Okay.
Because I was like, I'm printing money.
Fuck taxes. Yeah. I am printing money.
But that kind of kept me in the game, and that was kind of the
That's big.
That was kind of the last time I really was like about to get a real job.
Yeah. Down and out.
Yeah, that was... No, not the last time I was down and out. The last time, though, that I was about to get a real job.
Okay, gotcha. That's fucking sweet.
Yeah.
So then you got that writing gig, and as always, it just kind of snowballs from there.
Yeah, because then I finally, for the first time in my whole life, I had like a little bit of a cushion.
Yeah.
And I was just kind of making it work. And then there were a few times things happened where I had a few more hits where I was like really down and out, like I don't know what I'm gonna do, but never as bad as that one.
Yeah, wow. And now things are moving well. You have you've been doing your podcast with Ian Carmel and Sean Jordan for a long time.
Yeah,
How many years have you been doing that? It's called All Fantasy Everything.
Yeah, I want to say almost 3 because he started it. It was his idea. It was his podcast. I don't think I came on till maybe the 5th or 6th episode, and then I don't think me and Sean became regulars till maybe 20 or 30 episodes later or something like that.
It's such a fun podcast where you fantasy draft just
man.
whatever.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
We have fans. They're so cool, man.
Your fans are fucking hugely committed to it too.
And they're so nice.
You have your own Reddit page, like,
and our Reddit is not. Everybody's pretty like supportive and nice to each other, which is on the internet. You know,
weird.
What I mean?
That doesn't happen on the internet.
How does that?
Dude, that's cool. And of course, if you haven't noticed, this is the sultry voice of Comedy Central.
Hey, Crank Yanker.
Thursdays.
How
did that come about?
Man,
just out of the blue?
Any gig.
Is your whole career just out of the blue?
Yeah.
That's the best.
Yeah. It's never anything I see coming. That's the thing is, like, for so long you try to take control of your career where you're like, I'm going to make this happen and this happen. And then I can't remember who said it. It was like some comedian or something I like said, let your talent guide you. So that's kind of what you do, right?
Yeah.
That's what's been working for me. So, like, that thing was just, like, I think that I had already been a Comics to Watch.
Let your talent work it out.
Yeah. Because if you get an opportunity and you're good at it, it'll probably go that way.
Yeah.
Because I'm like a piece of shit. I don't love doing shit that I'm not good at.
I don't either. I don't either.
So, like,
I'm not the best at editing, and I'm like, I can do it, but I'm not good, the best at it. So I'm like, let me just pay someone to do this.
I get it. I get it. But you just like, I just got, they floated it. I think I've never found out how many people got the audition.
Yeah.
But I knew a couple, and you record an audition, and then I did like 2 or 3 different auditions and sent them in. Yeah. And then you get the call one day.
Yeah. What was the audition like? What'd you have to do for it?
Just fake.
You just read shit?
Mm-hmm. Just drop
any
shit.
Direction, or it's just you?
No,
like you just read these?
They were like, read it and do it like, do 1 calm, 1 excited, 1 very excited.
Okay, gotcha.
Just like to show the range or whatever.
Okay, that makes sense. To hear a normal voice, and because I'm sure it's different tones and how it.
Yeah, different ones are different. But then I did it, and I forgot about it because I thought after the last audition I was like, man, I bet I nailed it. But then it was like a while till they decided, so I kind of was just hanging out, and, doing whatever I'm doing. Yeah. And then got a call one day, and I was like, what? You know what I mean? Like, fuck you. And then they're like, yeah. And then I found out what it paid, and I was like,
what? And
insane.
you replaced Kyle Kinane, another great stand-up comic, another great voice.
Yeah.
Did he have it, like, was there any, like, beef between y'all, or was
Not
it
at
just
all,
like,
dude.
hey, it was like passing the torch?
Yeah, he was cool, man. I mean, because we came up around the same time.
Yeah.
Kyle's one of the first guys we ever looked up to.
Oh, and that's quite an interesting backstory. It
Yeah,
definitely
it was weird.
But again, I the more I do this, I say this every episode when I hear that type, like your origin story, I'm like, oh, okay. Who you are now makes sense. Like what your style is, how your career is moving makes a lot of sense now.
Right.
So that's fucking sweet.
I'm glad that it matches up because I have no perspective on it.
It absolutely does.
It's the only career I know about.
It absolutely and that
it's the only one that matters.
That's better because it is the only one that matters. Because you know a lot about third-party banking, which is pretty fucking interesting.
Weird.
Yeah,
I know
weird.
a lot about a lot of weird shit. That's like low-key kind of greasy. That's my first album, low-key kind of greasy.
I like that. What?
Because you're low-key kind of greasy.
It's true. I have this sweet mustache, which is definitely low-key kind of greasy.
What have you been calling it? Nasty Fudge Brown?
Dirty Sanchez Brown.
Oh,
Hot Carl Brown.
Okay.
Okay. Your podcast, how often does it come out? Weekly, right?
Weekly, every Thursday we drop.
All fantasy, everything. It's everywhere that you get podcasts and everything like that.
On all the stuff, rate and subscribe.
And if people want to follow you,
Instagram, CoolGuyJokes87. I'm coming back to life on Twitter though.
yeah,
At the G is silent. Yeah, I had to go.
take a little hiatus.
That shit is bad.
It's a lot.
But I've been like missing comedy so much.
Yeah.
I just miss being funny. You know what I mean?
All you have when all you have is a podcast, you know, it doesn't. I don't feel like it quite gets it out.
No,
It's
nice. 2
nice.
hours.
It's
Our
nice.
podcast is long as fuck.
Yeah.
But
It's still.
it's not the
doesn't
same
get it
as
out.
like when, you know what I mean? When you like set it up and then execute.
It's the whole vibe.
Yeah, it's great.
I get it. Well, David, thanks, man. I
Thank
appreciate
you.
it. It was good to see you. Be sure to check out our podcast every Wednesday with our favorite comedians of the show. Check out our merch. It's just right there on the merch page. We're on at BoulderComedyShow.com. And if you're watching this, we are now on all the streaming platforms. So if you would rather listen to it, we are available for download on iTunes, Google, Spotify, TuneIn. We're on TuneIn, we're on Pandora, we're on the works. So thanks again. We'll see you next time. Thanks, David. Let's probably smoke another blunt.
Yeah.